Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. It's Monday night. It's Lisa Copeland. It's Conquer the Shift Live. I hope everyone's doing great today. If you are in real estate and you're watching this, or you're in our team or organization, this is open to all realtors. And I want to invite you because we talk about really relevant things about what's happening in the marketplace today. And so I want you to share this out to your friends. I want you to put in the comments, tell me where you're from, and let's get started. I was going to have a guest tonight, and he was not able to join tonight. Life happens. Things come up with people. Guys, if you excuse me one second, I'm telling my husband to turn down the television set. I'm texting him right now. My goodness, he plays it loud. Okay. So that being said, I am back to you now. So tonight I want to talk about how do you build a business? How do you build a business when the economy is taking a downturn? And I guess all of us are feeling it, right? We're all feeling it. I've got listings right now that 6 months ago, they would have sold in 5 minutes. Now, one of them's going on 5 months. And it's frustrating because as agents, like we do all we can do, right? We're out there, we're advertising them, we're holding them open, we're meeting with our sellers, we're dropping the prices, we're, letting everybody know. But I'm gonna give you some ideas to take it to the next level. The first thing is, how many people like to pick their neighbors? I love to pick my neighbors. So I live in this new neighborhood that we built. My husband and I built a house up here in Belton, Texas, so we could live closer to our 3 little grandsons and my daughter and her husband. And so what was the first thing I went and did? I tried to find everybody I knew and move them to Belton, Texas. I mean, seriously, we're like moving my mom down the street. I've got other friends. I'm like, hey, even if you don't live here full time, you could get a house on Lake Belton. Like, I want to move people into my universe, into my community, right? And you'd be surprised. People want to do that. So, so many people discount. Get off the screen. Not sure what that means. So many people discount going out and door knocking and letting the neighbors know and talking to them about the property that you've got listed. I mean, it's absolutely critical. And on the ones that we've had sitting around, we have gone out there. I mean, I've literally gone up and I've talked to the neighbors and I said, hey, have you ever been in the house? Number one, can I show it to you? Right? I can take you to it right now and show it to you. I'm happy to, when we do an open house, open up an extra hour early for you. But let me show you the house. Let me tell you about the house. Let me find out a little bit more about you. Do you know that I've picked up listings doing that? Because they say, you know what is my house worth? What do you think about my house? Do you mind coming in and taking a peek at my house right now? It works. But more importantly, it gets people in the neighborhood talking about it and thinking about it, right? We're going to have to do more than just stick them in MLS, all right? You just have to. Number 2, I hope that you are with a company that has a network, like a big network. Grant Cardone says your net worth is your net worth. And I am a firm believer in that. So, are you going out to your networks? I personally have, as of today, I think 875 agents. Okay. My agents know what I've got to sell. My company that has 86,000 agents, they know what I'm selling. I go to the local Facebook groups. There are several big ones in Central Texas. I make sure that they're in there. I make sure that I advertise them in my newsletter that I send out to my clients. I make sure that I send it out to my database that I've been collecting over the last 2.5 years, right? There's multiple touch points. I mean, you never know how somebody's going to see the listing. You just don't. But we've got to get them out, right? We've got to get them out to the masses. And so, that has been really something that everyone has been struggling with because buyer demand has come down a little bit and seller and inventory's going up, right? So you have to do what I say, taking it to the streets. But the more important thing that I'm going to talk about tonight is social media. And if you guys have not read or listened to, you cannot read it, but listen to Grant Cardone's new book, 10X Mentor, do it. The book is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And most of you guys know and gals know that Elena Cardone is on my real estate team. And it's such a great story about how that happened. But when I joined EXP Realty, I was thinking about who are all the influencers that I know? Who are the people I know that could come in and help me take my organization to the next level that would be good for the company? So the very first person that I reached out to was Grant Cardone. And I knew Grant from the car business. Now, full disclosure, Grant said no at least 10 times. But I decided that I would connect him with the chairman of the board of our company, Glenn Sanford. And you all have seen me interview Glenn before on the show. And he is such an amazing human. God, I'm so lucky to work with some of the greatest leaders on planet Earth. I'm so lucky. And Grant was like, yeah, I'll take a call with the chairman of the board, right? Sometimes you have to put the right people at the table. And as luck would have it, Grant was driving down the road. He had the call on speaker. Elena Cardone was in the car. And the only way that Grant could partner with us from that end, which was my vision, right, was, obviously he's got the 10X nation, the 10X global world nowadays, right? And so Elena overhears the conversation and she says, and Glenn said to Grant, you need to have a real estate license. And Elena said, well, maybe I'll get a real estate license. I could get a real estate license. And boom, a legend was born. And it was so exciting. And guys, it was like 45 days before 10X. This was 2 years ago. It was 45 days before 10X. And any of you that have been to one of Grant and Elena's events, you know how much work and preparation and everything that goes into putting on one of these productions, right? And right after that, she called me and she said, hey, what real estate school should I go to? And I was like, yes, yes, yes. And so she has been absolutely crushing it. She's got, I want to say 750. If I get it wrong, she'll correct me. 750 agents in her organization. And, she caps every year. And anyways, it's just been absolutely phenomenal. But I tell you that story to say that I've been so tied into 10X over the last 2 years, and it has been a game changer for me. My last cap, which was July to July, right? So I just finished it July 1st. I did about 49, well, it wasn't quite 49. It was like $48.7 million in production. Just me. It wasn't a team out there selling it. Now, I have a huge organization, but I don't have a huge team. So I personally did every one of those deals. And it was a lot of work. I worked really hard. And I got to earn that trophy back there, that big glass one that's kind of next to the rose. That's EXP's highest production award for Icon. And it was just really important to me to be a leader and to do that. But anyways, I'm telling you all these stories to say, when I got involved in the 10X movement is when I changed my mindset. All right. And when I got to know Elena, and she became one of my very dearest friends, she still is, and to work with her every single day, I said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to build an empire. I want to build generational wealth, not only for myself, for my family, and I want to build it for my clients, right? By getting them into good deals, finding them good deals, but I want to build a team and I want to show them how to do the very same thing. And so, I want you all to go out there and I want you to download the book in Audible, 10X Mentor. Game changer, absolute game changer of a book. It will change your mindset. It will change your thinking. But the main thing, one of the big things Grant talks about, and he's talked about it in all of his books, and this is what has made my career. It's to get known. You've got to get known. You have to be known for something. And I would say 90% of my business is done within my sphere of influence of people I know. And sometimes they're people I haven't talked to in 5 years, but I know them and they follow me on social media, right? And when they look for an expert, they look to follow me and they look to see what I have to say about a subject. And, I try to teach that to all my new realtors, right? Like, there are all different kinds of ways to go out and meet people. So think about when the president of the United States is running for office, okay? It doesn't matter who they are. They're out kissing babies, shaking hands, going to conventions, going and speaking, hitting the crowd. You see them all shaking hands, kissing babies, literally kissing babies, going out to the Rotary clubs in small towns. Okay. That tells you that contact, right? Contact is what you need to get contracts. All right. That's a really hard way to do it. But if the president of the United States does it, you need to do it as a realtor. All right. You need to become the mayor of your city. You start with your neighborhood, your city, your community, your state, eventually the country, right? Like you need to be known. If people on your street do not know you do real estate, and if people within 5 to 6 blocks of you don't know that you do real estate, you're doing something wrong. You're just doing something wrong. And, when you get lucky enough to have a listing or to hold a house open, if you go out and you go and you intentionally go meet the neighbors and you say, hey, I want to give you the opportunity to pick your neighbor. Can I bring you down to this house right now and show it to you? Do you know anybody that might be interested? I'm going to have an open house on Monday or on Saturday. I'll open up an hour early just so that the neighbors can bring their VIP clients in, right? Guys, it's not going to be easy anymore. Throwing a sign in the yard, like this is why I look like I look today, because I went out today and I knocked doors in a neighborhood on a new listing that I've got. And it was so funny because you know how many people said to me, they were like, God, I was always wondering about that house. And see, I haven't had it held open yet because we're still doing a little bit of painting on the inside, but we'll have it held open this weekend. But so many of them said, like, I was wondering about that house, or I was wondering about those people. I never met the neighbors. What kind of people were they? Why are they moving? Like, these are all things people want to know. But of the 20 houses I went to, that's all I went to. I went to 10 on each side, kind of 10 each side around, one of them said to me, what do you think my house is worth? And I said, well, do you mind if I step in and look at it? So, here we go. I'll probably get the listing on the house. They were all curious what the house was worth. Some of them didn't even know how to look it up on realtor.com, right? So that's our job, right? Our job is not just to stick a sign in the yard and stick it in MLS. Our job is to make the community a better place. And I went to Chicago last week and I spoke to an amazing group of people. And the event was called The Do-Over by my teammate, one of my partners, Daphne Pinkney. And, and I'm just convinced that we are given a stage as a real estate professional. We are given a microphone, and we're given a very unique microphone. Now, it might be a microphone just on that street. Like, I only talk to, like, I'm hoarse. Some of these people, they're very, very nice people, but they're like, come in, have some lemonade or have a cookie. And I'm like, I really need to get to the next house, but okay. But they're lovely people, right? And that's what we do as realtors, is that we build communities. And of course they care who their next neighbor is going to be, right? Of course they want to know that it's somebody that, might be like the people that are moving out, or maybe they've got kids, or maybe they're retired, or whatever that looks like. And so I asked them, I'm like, here's my business card. I want you to brainstorm. I want you to think about people that you've met, people that you know, put it out on your Facebook page. Just say, hey, there's a house for sale in my neighborhood. Want to be my neighbor? And this one lady was like, I'm going to do that today, young lady. And I'm like, well, okay, I would greatly appreciate it. And also, why don't you come to our open house on Sunday? Let's see what Sandy has to say. I'm shocked how many realtors in my area are not on social media. I mean, they're not in my area either. I don't know. I mean, they're a little bit on social media, right? They might throw up a picture of a house, or they might reverb some stuff that the title company gave them on stats. But people want to do business with people they know. Now, you've always heard the adage, know, like, and trust. But see, they can't like you or trust you if they don't know you. So what are you going to do to get known? See, best known beats best. Best product, best price, best anything. And Grant reiterates that again in the 10X Mentor. Best known beats best price, best idea, best anything. How are you going to become best known? And the first thing you need to do is you need to conquer your social media, because think about it, whether you've got 100 followers, 200 followers, 2,000 followers, or you're like me, when you're into the tens and thousands of followers, that's fine. Those people follow you for a reason. They follow you and they try to, they're curious about what you're doing, how you're doing it, what you have to say, what you stand for, what do your kids look like, what do your grandkids look like, what does your spouse look like, what is it you do on the weekends? I mean, they follow you for a reason. They follow you because they're interested in you. They follow you maybe because they're a friend. But how can you build your business and take it to the next level if you don't tell people what you're doing, and if you don't interact socially? And guys, I mean, this would be also if you sell cars, if you sell insurance. This isn't just about real estate. Now, this particular training, Conquer the Shift, is for the real estate team, my real estate team at eXp Realty, but I've made the decision to put it out on Facebook Lives just so I could share it with anybody that needs it. Like, nothing we do is hocus pocus. Nothing I do is magical. It's just a matter of the fact that we do it consistently. We do it consistently. I just got a listing today in Georgetown, and the client said to me, she said, it's a commercial deal, and she said, I talk to the realtor I use all the time, Lisa, and for residential, she doesn't do commercial. Okay, kicked her off the list. Got a referral for commercial, and then the commercial person doesn't call back for 5 days. She still hadn't heard back. So she's like, I called you. So what do I have my team doing right now? Drawing the documents, right? So it's about consistency. It's about urgency. When somebody has decided that they want to sell their house or buy a house, they want to do it now. They don't want to wait on us. They don't. They want to do it now. So what are we going to do to create urgency? What are we going to do to, let's see, my girlfriend signed up a realtor and now she is upset on decision, $1 million home. Okay, Sandy, we would have to take that one offline. But what are the things that you're going to do to be known? What are you going to be known for? Right? And I've got a lot of people on here that'll watch that are in my organization. I ask you guys all the time, who are you and what do you stand for? Whatever it is, it's good. Whatever it is, it's you. Whatever it is, it's authentic. And that's what people want. And then people are going to decide if they meld with you. But the more that they can see you on social media, the more that they can see what you do, how you do it, they're going to decide, they're going to make a decision. I like her. I don't like her. I want to get to know him or her better. Ooh, I think she's pretty sharp. You know what? I think I'm going to list my house with her. Guys, I've done, probably in the last 2.5 years, over 100 million. And I'm going to say 90 million of it has been on social media in sales. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying it because that's how I do business. And it works for me. So the only thing, I try to tell my team is what works for me. And do you know how much it costs? You don't want to publicize like a breakup with an ex. Oh, okay, Megan, let me get to that real quick. But like, do you know how much time I spend on social media? And it's funny, Megan, I'll get to your question here in a second, but my husband used to tell me, oh my God, it's such a waste of time. Why are you doing that again? And I'm like, because I want people to know who I am and what I stand for, because the more they know me, right, socially know me through social media, the better chance I have of getting hired. Guys and gals, the days of billboards and bus benches and static ads, they're over. They're over. It's over because if somebody can get online and connect with somebody, think about YouTube. Think about all the influencers who have made millions. And in the case of my friends, the Cardones, billions of dollars being influencers. Okay. They're influencers because they do video. And with someone like Grant, you either love him or you hate him. But if you love him, you're going to do whatever he says, however he says to do it. You're going to buy all of his products. You're going to buy houses from his real estate team, like all of it. But you wouldn't know that, Grant, if there wasn't video, if he wasn't out there and putting himself out there. Now, is that scary to do? 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Have I lost deals because someone doesn't like my views on something? Probably 1,000,000%. I've lost friends over it. It is what it is. Okay. But at the end of the day, when you're making a big decision about where you're going to list your house or who you're going to do business with or who you're going to spend a month with trying to buy a house, you want to do it with somebody you connect with, somebody you trust, someone you believe that's an authority, someone you believe that can negotiate, someone who you believe has got their pulse, their finger on the pulse, right? So what's the best way to do that, my real estate team and any other realtor out there that's watching this today? That's to get known. It's to get known socially. You want to be that top of mind person when your friends are at a cocktail party and they're like, I'm thinking about selling my house. Do you know any realtors? Happens all the time, people. Happens all the time. Well, you know what? I don't know her personally, but I follow Lisa Copeland on social media. She seems like she knows what's going on. You ought to check her out. I cannot tell you how many calls I've gotten that exact conversation happened. The people who referred me didn't even know me. They had never met me in person, but they follow me, right? So with all of that comes a lot of responsibility. And I've learned the hard way on a few things. I've stubbed my toe. I might have said once in a while who I was voting for president, or who I wouldn't have voted for president, or something I agree with or something I don't agree with, but you know what? I learned real quick that nobody cares. Nobody cares. And so it doesn't do anybody any good to get onto social media and rant that you're mad at somebody or you're mad at what it might make you feel better, but it's going to alienate your audience. So when you make a decision to put your business onto social media and create a brand, and that's what every one of you are doing. If you're in real estate today, you're on my team right now. You know, I have told you, you've got to create a brand. I want you to create a brand. Okay. I want people to know who you are and what you stand for, authority, integrity, things like that, without taking it too far, right? When they're in the polling stations with you, or they're in the church or synagogue with you. I'm pretty okay with that one, but or what your opinion is about God, about anything. Like, it isn't worth it. It isn't worth it. Like, keep it off your social media if that's the way you intend to build your business. Instead, let people know who you are. Let people know uh, gosh, what am I trying to say? Organizations you're involved with. Let people know the things you do within the community. Let people know what you do with your kids and your grandkids on the weekend. Let people know, that, you care about the environment, right? And even at that, you have to kind of reel that back sometimes, probably. All of that. Okay, all of that. It's so important. This is how people get to know you. I mean, I'd love to see hearts in here. If you guys feel like, if you have not met me ever, but you feel like you know me because you have followed me on social media, and you watch, I'm going to get left in the dirt on this one. But if you have not met me, but you feel like you know me, even if you're catching the replay, I would love to see that, because you feel like you know me because you have followed me on social media for so many years. Because, I was doing social media when it wasn't cool. Yep, Tom, you did meet me through Haas. I do know that. But I was doing social media before it was cool. We did it at the dealership. And when I was a car dealer, and this is like the greatest story ever. This shows you the power of it. So this was in 2012. And Christy Rios, are you on here? Okay, if you're listening to this, Christy, you will love this story. So Emily was my receptionist. She's Emily Rios today. We had a car stolen, and it was stolen by a client on a test drive. So we knew who had the car, but she escaped with the car. We put it up on Facebook. And so you have to, the Fiats were so cute. And this was a yellow Fiat. I'll never remember. And we were we didn't want to say a name because I called our attorneys, and they're like, don't be putting that she stole your car, even though it's been 24 hours. But what you can do is put out that the car is gone. Every Fiat dealer in the country reposted it. Help Fiat of Austin find their car. People were reposting it. It got back to the girl. She came and returned the car the next day. True story. Okay. Your social media gets around, right? So you've got to be intentional with it. Is your social media there's 4 things that you should talk about on social media. It should be, and you should do about 25% of the time. Personal. Who are you? What do people need to know about you? Okay. You need to talk about public. What are you known for in public? Are you a member of the Rotary Club? Are you a member of the YMCA? Do you do Pilates? Whatever that looks like. What is your purpose? Okay. Things that are purposeful to you, right? And then the 4th one, you need to talk about properties. So where I see people fail on social media is that they might only talk about properties, like sell, 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 right? Or they throw up about their life all over social media. And I'm like, wow, I've got a really big picture of this one. And it's like I'm too far in the bedroom with them, or I'm too far down the road with them on some things. So I'm like, Now, that is meant for your inner circle, but it is not meant for your social media. And there's some people that all they talk about is purpose and people, and but they never talk about properties, right? And then I'm like, they're in real estate, but they must not sell anything, because I've never seen them post a property. And there are realtors out there, they're like, I'm an authority, I do this, I do that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I've never seen you sell a house. I need some social proof that you're really out there doing something. So, it's a balance. It's a balance. And so, am I perfect? No, not at all. But but I do try to balance it. You're going to see some of my kids, you're going to see some of my grandkids, you're going to see some of my pup, you're going to see a lot of the houses I've been selling because I think that's part of it. I just do. You're going to see what I stand for. You're going to see events that I show up at. Tomorrow morning, get this, y'all, I've got to get up at 3 a.m. And drive to Dallas, Texas. I'm speaking at the Renaissance for Caterpillar dealers. So the National Caterpillar Dealer Conference. I'm the keynote speaker. I'm on at 8:35 in the morning. Like, should I not be in a hotel tonight in Dallas, Texas? But I was like, I've got this training. I need to go get my neighborhood walked. I need to go introduce myself to the neighbors. I need to get this house sold. And I will just get my butt up at 3 a.m. and be on the road by 4:15, so that, because I'm only 2 hours and 15 minutes from Dallas, from where I live now. So I'm just like, that's what I'm going to do. Right. I'm going to have lunch with a couple of my partners tomorrow, Haas and Angie. And then I'm going to head back home because I'm doing Elena Cardone's training for her tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Right. So, but like I will document my day, and people will be like, what does being a speaker for Caterpillar have anything to do with the fact that you sell real estate? Well, I'm a sales authority, and I'm considered one of the top sales authorities in the nation. And so I do get hired. I get hired by Fortune 1s and Fortune 5s all the time. And you guys know that. I mean, again, social proof. I document it. So I'm going to go to some of these. I'm going to go to some of these questions. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, what if you have things happen in your life that you don't want to publicize, like a breakup with a spouse or husband? Yeah, Megan, haven't had one of those. But I don't know how to answer it. I mean, I feel like sometimes things need to be addressed, but sometimes they don't. The people that know, they know. And so that would be more of like a conversation with friends and a text. And then I think people just start figuring it out after a while, versus like, I hate him, I'm done, whatever. You change your status. And then I think you let people figure it out. I've just seen some people overshare, like way overshare, to the point where I tune in the next morning trying to see if I can find out some more. Okay. But that doesn't lead me to want to do any more business with them. It's just because I'm just being nosy. Okay. Let's see. I know, but this is how I got connected with you, Lisa. Your presence is massive. Thank you, Hallie. Yes, I know how we got connected. Let's see what Chris says. That's me. I keep forgetting to post properties or my showings. Chris, honey, you should be doing that more than you should. Really. Okay. And guys and gals, let's just say, you don't have a bunch of listings. Okay. When you get started, then you go and you're touring open houses. You're going and you're going and looking at vacant houses yourself, and you're taking pictures and you're touring with it, as you should. If you're in Central Texas, I give you all the permission in the world to go into anything I've got listed and put it on social media and tour it and talk about it. I hope you sell it. I hope you bring me a contract on it. Please, please, please. Okay. So, again, you may not be as busy as you want to be yet, but you will be. I promise you, you will be. But you've got to be consistent. You've got to utilize social media. There are people out there that I'm like, they've been doing this way more years than I have. And and I'm just like, I already see what the problem is. And they're not utilizing social media. Now, in the old days, you could throw up a billboard. In the old days, you could do mailers. In the old days, you could put your name on the side of a bus. Don't waste your money. Only the things I'm talking to you guys and gals about tonight is time. Take time. Go out and visit the model homes for the builders. There's a lot of those back up again. Go out and look at listings that aren't selling. Go out and go to meetups. Join your chamber of commerce. I've got a new realtor, and I had her hold one of my houses open this weekend, and I made her sit there and join her local chamber of commerce. I said, those are your people right there. Look how many events they have so that you can meet other people and other business owners in the community, right? So real estate's not an easy job. It's not a hard job. I tell people all the time, I'm not digging ditches. Like, to me, that would be a hard job. If I had to go out and I had to dig ditches to make a living, I don't have to do that. And I'm so grateful. But what I have to do, and what every one of you have to do, is I got to show up. And in the words of my friend Jan Goss, I've got to show up well. Right? So when you show up at events, you need to be put together. You need to be professional. You need to be, you need to talk on track. You don't need to be woo, woo, woo out there the crazy one, right? And you need to have intentional conversations with people. Another realtor, I was training on open houses, and I was there with her, and I said, okay, I'm going to give you some feedback. And the feedback is you need to talk to these people. They've come to your domain. They've come to your house. So therefore you have the right to say, hey, what are you looking for? Are you working with an agent? Do you live close by? Are you looking to move up? Or are you just out checking out houses today? Like, these are things we need to know. And I don't know that anybody's ever gotten mad at me for asking those questions, right? It's what we do. Let's see what other questions we have here. Gotta jump, Lisa. We'll catch the replay. Good luck tomorrow, Big D. Thanks. Give Haas my best. I will. That's me. I don't want to share a personal life post right now. Yeah, I share some stuff, but nothing that I would not want on the front page of the New York Times. Anything I put up, it's the New York Times could pick it up and they could publish it, and I would be A-okay with it. And the rest of it, I think, is just left for your inner circle, your family, and your friends. So anyways, I hope that you guys and gals got something out of this tonight. But the main thing is you've got to get known. Get known. That is my one big takeaway tonight. And how are you going to get known? That means you're going to show up. You're going to show up on your social media. You're going to show up at your local events. You're going to show up and you're going to talk about your business with your family and your friends. You're going to show up and do open houses, even if they're not your own. You're going to show up. Like, the days of just sitting home and saying that you're a realtor and you're going to be successful or sticking a sign out, they're over. They're over. I want to say I'm glad about it. That's not really fair. That wouldn't really be true. But I kind of like having to, figure it out and dig through the mud. I knocked on doors today. I made some good contacts. I really did. I think I hit 21 doors. It's either 20 or 21. I tried to keep up with it. I've got a potential listing appointment. I've got 2 or 3 people that are like, I might have somebody for that house. I wasn't sure if it had 3 or 4 bedrooms. I was always wondering about that house. Okay. I did my job. And I guarantee, and then I had one lady say, wow, I've never seen a realtor do this before. That's really refreshing. I bet you, I might be top of mind if she ever goes to sell her house, right? Our job is to be just like someone running for president, and just get a mental image in your head of what a presidential campaign looks like, minus the rallies and all of that. But think about when you see them out there and they're in the crowds and they're shaking hands. And I was just watching this thing on Queen Elizabeth. My God, y'all. She was the queen of the empire, literally. Well, she's not just the queen of England. She's the queen of the empire, right? I think they said 1/3 of the countries are in the British Empire. That is amazing. And what did that lady do? She was out, she was walking, she was kissing babies, taking flowers, smiling, shaking hands. Okay, if the Queen of England has to do it and the President of the United States has to do it to get elected, then we need to do it as real estate professionals. You got to get out there, shake hands, and kiss babies. And with that, I'm going to leave y'all until next week. I hope you guys have a great and productive week. Keep crushing it, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye.